Welcome to Toffee TV. Here is the match reaction. Brentford 1, Everton 0. Another defeat for the Blues. 5 in the last 7 games Everton have lost. They've picked up 2 in 21 points. And it was rubbish. It was rubbish. 60% of the ball, 14 attempts at goal. Brentford had, 5 or 6 attempts at goal, and we lost the game. And this was the game, looking at all the other games we've got coming up, this was the one where you looked at and thought, right, if we're going to win one, this is the best opportunity to break this run we're on and build some confidence before 2 very difficult home games. And they've gone out and they haven't done anything in it. And it's getting more and more difficult to defend them and the manager. I think the manager today has lost a lot of good grace, certainly with me. Definitely with, not someone we wanted. I certainly didn't want him as the manager at the start of the season, but he come in and it was a case of you back him. He's the manager. Let's get behind him and see what he can do. And we started off well, and injuries have definitely impacted it. It's stupid to even say any different because that's what's happened. But the last few weeks his subs have been poor. Some of his choices haven't been great. But today, I just cannot forgive the lack of substitutions today. I just can't. I'm sorry. It's it's raw now. It's another game that's gone, and we're just stuck in this cycle of nonsense. Every season it just becomes the same kind of thing. It's start all right, get a few injuries, can't cope, lose games, slip down the table, get worried, and then luckily for Everton it's sorted itself out one way or the other. But there's no indication that these players are up for any kind of fight. There's no one who's really carrying the team. There's nobody you can look at and go, he was good again today. Guy's been brilliant for us. Because there hasn't been. Subpar performances again today. Don't get me wrong, today wasn't the worst performance I've ever seen. Not by a long stretch. It wasn't even the worst performance of the season. But the players have got no bravery in them. There's no care with what they're doing with the ball. There's no urgency. We were 1-0 down with 10 minutes left and people were strolling around the pitch, passing it back to our goalkeeper. And there's no pattern of play. And in Rondon, never going to happen. A Wobie, never going to happen. And yet the manager left them. We welcomed Decore back. He was a welcome addition back into the side. He looked rusty all day, let's be honest. But at least he was involved. Alan overcome a worry for his fitness. Rondon came in, like I said, for the Charleston. Iwobi started, and Everton. It's a mad one because I think in terms of the game, Everton were the better side really, but we didn't. When you've seen us play well, and you're looking at it, McPartland teams open and stuff at times, and I know I admit it hasn't happened that much this season, but you can see a pattern of play, you can see a flow, you can see what we're doing. Today, we had a lot of the ball, but there was nothing really of any note, certainly in that opening 15 minutes or so. Brentford played on the break and didn't really offer anything either, and got a penalty, really, a fortuitous penalty in that nothing was really going on, and Andros Townsend stuck his foot up. It was a pen, don't get me wrong, he caught him, it was a foul, there's a penalty, no question. The ref, to be honest, the ref didn't even need to go and have a look at it for me. It was a penalty. Our mate John Moss on the VAR, was it going to be any different decision anyway? But it was a penalty, and I'm not sitting here going it wasn't a pen, because it was a penalty. Toney dispatched it on what Pickford was doing. Toney dispatched it, and you're 1-0 down. And listen, he hadn't scored a goal at home in the Premier League, so if I'd have known that before the game, I would have put some money on him, because it was a nap. Everton are in town, and they will do that for you. But after it, we responded all right. We looked, we had counter-attack, final ball wasted again. Rondon had a chance, which he probably should have scored. And then we should have had a penalty of our own in the first half. Corner, cross come in, Rondon getting the shirt pulled off his back. I'm amazed it didn't go to VAR. Not that John Moss would have given us it, because he didn't give us anything. But that looked like a penalty to me. You can't pull someone's shirt over their head practically and it not be a foul. But it wasn't given, and you've got to get on with it. And we just didn't cause them enough problems in the first 45. Second 45, we come out. And after 10 minutes, of huffing and puffing. I thought the manager would make a positive change. He didn't. He just let it drag on. Like I say, Brentford didn't really cause us any problems at all. Townsend got himself booked, and it was about time. He'd done 3 or 4 fouls. The manager took him off and put the Mari Gray on, just to give us a little bit of an outlet, and also probably to save Townsend from being sent off. And we were pushing on, don't get me wrong, we were better second half, and we pushed them back, and Gray come on and put 2 wonderful crosses in, which if we'd have had a centre forward who wanted to get on the end of things, he'd have been in there. Neither time I think he was by the penalty spot on one of them. And we were pushing them back, but we couldn't unlock them. And with 20 minutes left, I'm watching it and thinking, there's an easy win for the manager here. We're 1-0 down. It's not, we can't really afford to lose this game. If he puts Dobbin and Sims on now, the fans will go, right, okay, at least he's put the 2 young lads on. Let's see what they've got. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But the manager can say, well, I wanted to give them a go. We needed a spark, whatever. And he didn't. He just sat on his hands. And the time ebbed away. Rondon and Iwobi weren't very good. Iwobi tried to be bright, but it's just not. I just don't see it working for him. It hasn't worked so far. He never convinces you that he's going to do anything. Rondon just looks way off it. He just doesn't look mobile enough. And so that would have been, I think, an easy win for Rafa Benitez. A lot of fans don't like him. A lot of fans don't want him. We're in a terrible run. And an easy win is put 2 young lads on, let the crowd get behind them. All those Evertonians who've gone down there today, seeing them up at 5, getting coaches down to London when we're in the middle of a terrible run. It's snowing here. It's been snowing here all day. They've gone down to London to watch the team and get behind the lads and give them something to be excited about for the last 20 minutes, something that's a little bit fresh and new. And he didn't. He just sat on his hands, and the time ebbed away, and it ebbed away, and it ebbed away, and nothing really happened, and it continued to ebb away. And the ball went out. There was about 3 or 4 minutes left, and Brentford sliced the ball out right by the manager. And Thomas Frank's animated, and he's running up and down. And the ball bounced by Benitez, and he just let it bounce past him. He didn't look like there was any urgency. And our players, don't get me wrong, right now, there seems to be an inevitability about Benitez at the moment. That's how it feels like. It's only a matter of time now before he's sacked. And that could come in the next 7 days, to be honest. Or the next 8 days when we've played Liverpool and Arsenal. There seems to be that, it was that kind of feeling that towards the end of Marco Silva's tenure, when you knew it was coming, it was just, is it this game or is it the next game? And it feels like that now. And this isn't all on him, by the way. There's a huge problem at Everton Football Club seeping down from the board level. And it's been there for the last few managers. The owner or the board, whoever it is, they all put the name to it. So it must be the board, have picked the wrong manager time and time again. And that's filtered down. We've got some players who go through the motions. I don't think there's any question about that. But there's a big problem. This isn't all Rafa Benitez's problem, his fault. We give him £1.5 million to spend in the summer with players who we knew weren't good enough as fans. We watch them every week. We watch them. It's our life. We're fanatical about them. We know we could weed them out if we were given the job. As Evertonians, if you were given the job, you'd know who to go in and weed out immediately. If you could have a choice of saying, you'll never play for the club again. We know who they are. And it hasn't happened, and that's why we're in a big problem right now. We've got a big mess right now, and like I said, there seems to be an air of inevitability about what will happen. And we lose the game, and that's it. We've lost another game, and now we've got Liverpool and Arsenal. Liverpool, who were flying, goals in them. You look at it, and listen, Everton have won derby games before when you've thought there's no way we can. We could still win, of course we could, but if you're a betting man or you're looking at it being neutral about it, you don't see any way Everton can beat Liverpool on Wednesday at all. And you're looking at it going, could be a damage limitation job, and that's unacceptable for a team that spent money. For us as Evertonians at home, it's unacceptable to look at it that way. Could change. We could come out with fire in our belly, and the crowd will fight them on. There's no question about that, but it just seems rather glum at the moment. I can't even give a man at the match, to be honest. I don't think anyone really. Maybe Decore, because he come back and ran around. Maybe. But we've lost another game, and I'm getting worried, and I wasn't, but I am getting worried now that this just isn't going to work. there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. See you later.